Good evening, everybody, and welcome to WeatherFans Live here on Sunday, the 7th of December 25. And we're back after my 2-week hiatus due to health reasons. And I hope you are all well this evening. Let's jump straight into the comments and see how you all are and who's here with us at the moment. And the first person that was in a short time ago was Send It Weather. So glad to see you back, Mark. I hope you're all well. Thank you so much for asking. Much better than I've been for quite a long time. So I keep looking up because I've got Stormy and the unit across me knocking a few things off. So she needs to behave herself. Good evening to Laura. Good to see you back. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. And good evening to our mod James. Good to see you back. Thank you so much. And also we've got our other mod in as well, Paul James. Evening, Mark. Great to see you back. Hope you well enjoyed the F1. I did actually watch it for the first time this season because I've actually got no TV. I've bought the sports package for this month, ready for the darts, which starts on Thursday, which will take me through to the final, I think on the 3rd or the 4th of January. So that's where I've got the Now TV sports package so I can watch that. But I've managed to watch a bit of other sport actually in the last few days. And I watched the Formula One this afternoon. And thankfully, Verstappen didn't win. Sorry for you not watched it. But I'm glad Norris is the world champion. Who else have we got this evening? Good evening to Matthew, Froglegs Matthew. Hope you're doing well on this Sunday evening, my friend. Let's go down the comments. Good evening to Audio Coffee. Hope you're well. Good to see you all back in here. And good evening to Suit. I know you've been having problems with potentially could losing your power, but still holding at the moment. Matthew's saying there's been terrible weather today, more to come. It's been quite wet, hasn't it, during today? There's some places have had a bit of wind. Santa saying he loves the darts. Because I don't really have Sky Sports or anything like that, and I'm not paying about what was it? I don't know how much the sports packages are these days. 40, 50 quid for Sky. Hang on a second. You come to say hello. Come on. There she is. There's Stormy. Say hello to your friends. Come on, if you're going to lie down, lie next to me. Let's get professional. Or just saying, well, despite your absence, there's not been any snow here, so that's that. Yeah, it's been loads here. Look at all that snow behind me. Oh, I've had quite a lot. Indeed, Matthew, stand up if you love the darts. I certainly do. Paul James is saying, great to see an Englishman win. I wanted anyone but Verstappen to win, to be honest. Only lost my power once, but I've had over 90 power. Has it been that strong? Oh, James. I thought that was Suit then. Wow, it's been a bit breezy up there this afternoon. Not saying it's wet out there, but the schools have been web feet. Is that not just the locals around your area audio? Good evening to Steffi. Good to see you, Steffi. Hope you're well. And people say hello to you, you little bugger. That's your tail. And that's... I don't want you biting me, thank you. I don't want an acupuncturist tonight, thank you. Not cheap. No, it's not. I think for the Now TV package for just for the sport, I think it cost me about roughly about £32, and that's just for the month. Before it's Christmas, the darts. I want to see the darts because last year I just watched the highlights the next morning on YouTube. I thought this year I'd like to watch some darts live in the evening. The winds have died off here. Tuesday looks worse. Yeah, we'll take a look at the charts. It's not looking great, is it? If you want dry, crisp, cold weather, is it? Been very Scottish bland weather here for so long. James 98 is in his shed up there. As long as it's been down. Oh, they jumped in. Yeah, what else have we got? Well, that's come to the end of the chat. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on the cricket scores this morning. It wasn't great result, was it, this morning? For some reason, that wasn't shown on my Sky Sports package. It is Sky Sports that's doing the Ashes, isn't it? Right. So, see if I can put your comments on there. So there's been a few updates on the StreamYard. So just how does that work? That's smaller, wide. That's a bit too wide, isn't it? Let's keep your comments down there for a little while, and if it gets too much in the way of the screenage, I shall turn them off on the screen temporarily. Let's get rid of that. James has 98. Sorry, it's 98. James has 10 sheds with snow inside. Oh, is the not on Sky? So okay, I thought normally the Ashes are on Sky Sports. That's why I can't find the Ashes then on the Sky Sports app. Oh, is it on TNT Sports? TNT Sports is extra again. They have the FA Cup. So that explains why the FA Cup draw is not on bloody terrestrial TV then. I'm going to have to try and find it on YouTube tomorrow from 7 o'clock. Not really interested in the FA Cup much this year because we got knocked out in the first round against Leyton Orient, who then got thrashed 4-0 on Friday night against Salford. Sorry, audio, we'll keep the sports to a minimum now. Yeah, Suits saying they'll watch sports anymore because of high prices on no TV. It's just like I remember growing up when we used to have the Champions League back in the 90s, early 2000s on terrestrial TV before, was it Sky that bought it or wherever? And James is saying, there's no up here. It's all gone, just plenty of cold rain. Boo. And it's not even, there's no signs of anything cold coming, to be honest with you. But we'll have a look at the charts in just a few moments. Right, we've got to the bottom of the chat. What we're going to take a look at is the November stats, and we'll take a look at the autumn stats as well. I used to love watching Ski Sunday. Oh, hang on. I used to watch Ski Sunday. Have I got the theme for that? I don't think I have. I've got some themes in the system somewhere, but I don't think I've got the Ski Sunday one. We beat Bolton in the FA Cup. I know Bolton lost 4-0, but who was it against? I can't remember. Yeah, still watch the Olympics from time to time. We've got the Winter Olympics starting very soon. I think long after Christmas. I think it is in Italy this year. Swindon. Yeah, it was, I think 3 or 4-0 beat Bolton. That's where I actually was born, Bolton. And James is getting his shorts on because apparently he's got 15 degrees for Thursday. Right, let's crack on with the screen share. The first thing, as I said, mentioned, we're going to look at is the stats for November. Let me just bring up the screen share. I forgot to do it. It's been a few weeks. Where is it? There we go. Let's take myself off the screen. And I'm just going to turn off the comments on the screen there because it is going to obscure it slightly. Right, the November stats from the Met Office. So November stats, let me bring up the 91 to 20 anomaly. So the actual, so the mean temperature for the whole of November as virtually everywhere apart from parts of Northern Ireland and virtually most of Scotland around average. Sorry, has everywhere apart from parts of Northern Ireland and Scotland about a degree above average, and the rest of Northern Ireland and most of Scotland around about average. So it's been about an average November gets up and taken from that. Compared to the 61 to 90 anomaly, it's the degree, it's 2 degrees above or 1 degree above. Rainfall wise, well, it's definitely been a wet one here. The rainfall has been down the southeast drier than normal from 91 to 20 anomaly, and parts of Scotland have been slightly below average, but most of the chunk of the from England and Wales has been average or to well above average. There's some areas, especially a line here from like Lincolnshire through into the East Midlands. There's a few patches there towards South Wales, and parts of Cumbria have actually had more than 200% of their average for November. If we go to the actual, some parts of the southeast have had maybe around about 25 to 50 millimeters down towards the southeast. Through parts of Wales, they've had over 200, 300 millimeters through November. There's a few spots showing there for North Wales. There's a little dot down towards Southwest Wales. Parts of Cumbria have had over 500 millimeters for November, which is incredible. And myself here on my weather station, I've actually recorded for November an incredible 146.6 millimeters for November. And that's perhaps one of my highest totals I've recorded since I've had my weather station for a month. A couple of years back in February, I think I recorded, I think I might even still have that figure actually on the system. Find it, one of my highest ones. Is it still here? Yeah. This was on a February, 127.2 millimeters. So that's beating that by nearly 20 millimeters. That was a very wet February. I think that was back in 2023, if I remember correctly, or 24. So yes, November has been very wet indeed. Sunshine amounts. Let's have a look. The 91 to 20 anomaly. We are looking below average for much of Scotland, parts of northeast England, down towards Cornwall, and a few places down towards southeast of England as well. It's actually been more above average for the Welsh-English border, East Wales, through much of the Midlands, through into southern counties of England, parts of Northern Ireland, southwest Scotland, and southeast Scotland, and the outer is here West Scotland, and slightly above average. But as I mentioned, parts of Scotland they have also had quite below average, around about 50% of November's sunshine amounts. And let's look at the lightning strikes. I know it's November. Let's have a look at the actual. So there's been some lightning strikes through November. But you can actually see some distinctive clear lines from like a cell that's gone through. So you've got a line here from one cell, a line there from one cell. The potential there one line or maybe two lines, two cells there, going from southwest to northeast and scattered towards the west of Scotland. Some of these might have been some of the snow showers actually in early November. So yeah, obviously we don't get too many lightning strikes through November, but there is some there. Right, let's go back to the mean temperatures and have a look at autumn overall. And see how that's, see how that's fared out. So for autumn overall, the 91 to 20 anomaly, autumn was around about average in temperature, perhaps just a degree for most eastern parts of the UK, from Scotland down the eastern side of the UK. It's a bit there towards the northwest of England, around the Liverpool Borough area. And there's a tiny bit there towards Devon as well. In terms of rainfall, autumn has been, well, much wetter than average. Just that little patch down towards the southeast of England and parts of eastern Scotland as well. Much of Scotland's been around about average, and there's a few places just slightly above average. But for the likes of parts of Northern Ireland, Northern England into, well, much of England, to be honest, away from southeastern areas, and most of Wales have been above average or much above average. Some areas here towards northeast, towards Lincolnshire through to the northeast Midlands have had more than 150% of the autumn rainfall. Parts of southern Northern Ireland have had more than 170% of the autumn rainfall, as well as parts of southwest Wales. So autumn has generally been above average, but it's not going to make up for deficits yet of what we had during spring and summer. In sunshine amounts, autumn has actually been much duller for western areas, especially Northern Ireland, where they've had about 75% of the average. There's a few places from northern Scotland down the eastern side through central areas where it's been slightly above average, but nothing too significant. But it's been western areas where we've been getting a lot of the Atlantic weather recently, where we're below average sunshine amounts. And will that show the autumn lightning strikes? Nah, didn't think so. So that was the stats for November, and autumn. I must have forgot what I was going to say then. Just going to have a look back at the comments, see if anyone else has come in. Where did we get to? Yep. After you saying above average again, it certainly was. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. Things are looking, looks like December at the moment is going to look above average. I'm probably guessing at least 2 or 3 degrees above average. The way December's looking, it's like another wet one. Yeah, definitely agree with that. Send it. December's definitely going to be above average now. And Christmas green, I will agree with that. Looking at the charts earlier, but I'm going to go through some of the, especially towards the back end of the GFS runs, previous runs. It's not looking great for Christmas. It's just going to be another mild, or a wet Christmas again. I'm not seeing anything significant of any cold weather coming in, but we'll have a look. I think the start of January we'll see snow. I can prove it. Well, still a lot to play for. We're still early in the winter season. You never know what could happen. All years dreaming of a wet Christmas. I think you are going to be right. I honestly think there's more chance of me winning the lottery than it is of us getting snow at Christmas this year. Steffi was in her flip flops this afternoon. If you Paul went outside, he probably floated down the street in them as well. No yellow Christmas. Actually, I think our yellow friend gone to bed earlier, hasn't she? Our Rachel. Lock Rachel up. I think someone's locked her away tonight, hasn't they? Bless her. Yeah. This winter's fashion long raincoats. Yeah, and umbrellas. Look at me with a fancy umbrella. I like umbrellas, but the other thing is, a bit of wind and they're just bloody useless because they'll just either break or just go inside out. Who's mentioning food? Definitely going to need that Big Mac. I'm very fussy. I don't eat Big Macs. I'm not a fan of whatever they put in them. I just want the burger buns and the burger itself with cheese. Oh, and Matthew, now you're making me hungry. Double cheeseburger meal with banana milkshake. Oh, just I'm very hungry now. Shetland did well for sunshine. To be honest, I've got to look up towards Shetland. It's even Shetland on the map. I didn't see. Oops. Chicken sandwich is my favourite. I think I might have had chicken sandwich once. Right. Got down to the bottom of the chat. Looking for the ring of snow. Oh, stop it. Mention food. KFC. KFC more than McDonald's, in my opinion. Yeah, I probably prefer KFC. Chips are nicer with KFC. The problem is when you get them delivered, the chips more or less either lukewarm, wherever Luke is, or bloody cold by the time they get here. If you want the hot bloody fries or chips, you actually need to go to the restaurant themselves. McDonald's food should be banned. It's terrible. If you're really desperate and hungry, then it's all right. I'm quite bad. I don't know if I was at it, but I'm a fan of Popeyes. I don't know if you've got a Popeyes near where you are. There's not many in the country. But anytime I pop into like Birmingham or something like or Derby, I usually end up popping into Popeyes. Right, what time is it now? 25 past 8. Where shall we go next? Hang on a second. Why have I got chart data up twice? Just bear me a second. For some reason, I've got the GFS on two different tabs. Let's sort that out. Let's get rid of that one. Normally, I have a kebab after darts. It's in the rules. Do you actually play for a team then, Matthew? Darts. We don't have any fancy restaurants up here. Do you have any restaurants at all up where you are? Do you actually live out in the sticks or do you live in a town in the north of The only problem with fries is that the hold time of them is only 5 minutes. Used to work in Macca's years ago. Yeah, I just think keep warm, do they, fries? It's like bacon. If I prefer bacon when it's just like literally come off more virtue of the pan or wherever you cook them. I'm not a great fan of bacon when it's gone quite cold. It's got to be hot, or at least warm, at least. Yes, KFC not far from me. McDonald's low, don't have a Wendy's. I've never had a Wendy's, but while I work, we do actually supply Wendy's. We actually, while I work, we actually supply Wendy's and Popeyes. Sometimes walking past the big um, season for what they put on the chickens, it's just like, oh, it smells lovely. It's like the flour, whatever they put on the coating of the chickens. It smells bloody lovely. I live next to two cities. That's why there's a lot of restaurants here. I played darts in the ADC. Forgive me for asking, I don't know what the ADC is. Is that a name of a pub or area? Wendy's is a word I can't say on here. The local one is really bad. I need to try Wendy's, see if it's any good. But the Popeyes is kind of like similar to KFC, but I think more flavour. But coming to I prefer KFC with like the Colonel special recipe. But when it comes to like the strips, I prefer Popeyes. I'm going to come off this food chat in a second because we are going off topic here. What he means is brilliant at darts. I've got a dartboard in the kitchen, but I can't get to it at the minute because it's got a load of stuff in front of it. I've actually got a stand with a dartboard on. Even when I used to have the rust braid darts score on my thing, and I think my average is about 30. So I know where am I going to get in the PDC anytime soon. The amateur darts circuit. God, yeah. Right, let's come off the chart. Let's have a look at some chart data from the GFS. Bring up the screen share. Again, let's take myself off there. So we'll put that on full screen. Let's have a look at the latest GFS. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to split the screen and have a look at both runs of the GFS, actually. Save a bit of time as well. Right. So on the left, we've got the 12Z run, and on the right, we've got the 6Z run. Just go back onto the, yep, we're on full screen. Excuse me. Apologies for that. So, yeah, let's run through Sunday. We've got an area of low pressure developing and crossing the country as I speak right now. So that's bringing breezy conditions there through northern areas in the coming hours. Both runs, we're maintaining that southwesterly flow. And obviously, with southwesterly flow coming from virtue of the Azores, it's keeping us mild, keeping us quite breezy as well. Then the next area of low pressure moves up through Monday night into Tuesday. That's bringing up strong winds for western areas. We'll have got the wind gust in a moment for this. Now, I'll give you my honest opinion if it'll be named or not. So, both model runs are in agreement of this at the moment. The 6 o'clock run as perhaps another little low trying to develop there towards the southwest. goodness me, that's down to perhaps a 954 maybe towards northwest of Scotland. So I think the strongest of the winds should be kept just off the coast of Scotland. And also we've got trying to build a ridge up there for midweek on Wednesday. We've got high pressure towards the Med. So everything's getting pushed towards the northeast. And I'm just about to see actually Western Russia, we've actually got strong area of high pressure up to 1,048 millibars. So this is why everything's not coming directly across from west to east. It's actually more or less getting pushed up towards the northeast. And when things are getting pushed up to northeast, we're in this southwesterly flow, which is keeping us mild. Hence why, well, we're mild. And both model runs coming through into Thursday is building up another area of low pressure towards the west. Looks like we could be drier towards the southeast on both of the model runs from earlier on, with high pressure centered over Central Europe. So that's bringing up a lot of mild air. But both model runs from lunchtime and this morning, I've actually got these three centers of low actually going swell around each other. Again, we've got high pressure towards the east, so drier looking for, looks like most of central England, central eastern England there, maybe away from Scotland. So I think if any sunshine breaks out there, you could be heading up to the possible mid-teens there. Again, we'll have a look in just a few moments. Eventually, that low pressure starts to move closer in, and we'll switch back down to a southwesterly on both runs. And we've got quite a strong southwesterly there on both of these runs into next Sunday, before the latest run built another low pressure towards the southwest. This has low pressure still towards the northwest. So I'm kind of agreeing there. There's another low there developing out towards the west. These are crossing the country. And this one's showing a very deep area of low pressure for the latest run towards the south of Greenland. We can see a 948. So that's quite a strong area of low pressure in the northwest Atlantic. With this is the dominant low. That's still bringing up a southwesterly flow. With this is a split. So that's more of a dominant feature compared to this, where it still has two areas of low pressure. Could be quite strong winds there towards the northeast of England through into Monday the 15th. And if we just keep moving through there, we're just looking quite stormy for both model runs. Perhaps dry there towards the east of England with high pressure out towards the east. For the next area of low pressure rattles in. So it's looking very turbulent actually, looking at these model runs. We've got high pressure out towards the Azores there. We've got low pressure in the North Atlantic. And I thought the big cat was about to fall off the fold-away table then. But she's just having a scratch. I was waiting for an earthquake then if she would have fell off that table then. Oh, you're on a stretch, Stormy. So yeah, coming towards the back end of this model run, towards Christmas week. This 6 o'clock run has very strong winds across the country. This has high pressure out towards the southeast, but that won't last long before the next area of low pressure moves in towards the northwest. But this has the Azores high actually stretching in. And what's interesting as well, looking back, we're getting this Scandi high actually coming in, moving down towards the southwest. Could this be the response from the minor SSW we had a couple of weeks ago? So that's an interesting to see what's going on there. You've got the Azores high building you've got the Scunny High coming down from the northwest, from the northeast. So it'd be interesting to see if these winds do actually eventually turn towards the east. But this morning's run wasn't really showing that at all. That stands that high pressure out towards the eastern Scandi. And that the Azores high is much flatter on this morning's run. So that's maybe to keep an eye on. It could, if this came off, could we be looking perhaps at a cool New Year week? But that's still to be established. Right, let's have a look at the wind gusts. Actually, look, it's going to be quite a turbulent week for some. Let's bring that back. So these are this morning's run from on the right and the latest run on the left. So let's get through to now. So widespread, we're looking at around about 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gust away from Scotland. Before the winds start picking up as that low develops just off the eastern coast of Scotland. Going through Monday, looking slightly breezy there for much of the UK. Before the next area of low pressure moves in from the west. It looks like this morning's run had it a bit slightly further east. Perhaps about 20 miles, perhaps 23 miles, but further east compared to the latest run. But even through the Irish Sea there, we're looking at quite strong winds gusting up to about 60 to 70 miles per hour. Will it be named? Ooh. I would say it's marginal. If it does get named, I think it'll be named by the Irish Met. And if it does get named, just put me into the comments there. Take care, Sue. Thank you for joining us this evening. If it does get named, the next named storm will be Bram. Good. The reason why we were going back to B is because the other two storm names were named by the French Met, and I think it might have been the Spanish Met service as well. But our next named storm here will be Bram, and it'll be very marginal if the Irish do name it. If I was going to name it, I don't think the Met Office will. I think it will be the Irish Met. So I think they might be keeping an eye on that in the next 12 to 24 hours. If it does get named, it will be named tomorrow. I think they're going to see how the models fare overnight into tomorrow morning. So we've got strong winds through the Irish Sea coast, through much around Ireland as well, into Tuesday, southern counties of England. Inland, we're talking around about 40 to 50 miles per hour. On both of them, all the runs there. This morning's run kept the strong winds going for 7 counties, but not as much on the latest. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Let's take it through into Wednesday. The strongest of the winds actually just out towards the northwest of Scotland. So the strongest of the winds is out towards the northeast Atlantic. To see could be about 90 mile per hour gusts. And we've got a low in the winds away from northern Scotland, where the winds will start to actually strengthen even more. Through the morning, so again gusting towards Scotland, northern Scotland, up to around about 50, 60 miles per hour potential there. Much calmer towards the south with quite light winds. Then going into Thursday, the next area of low pressure moves in. This time, the strongest of the winds will be out towards northwest Ireland. And if that was perhaps to move in a bit further inland, actually, Here's my voice a bit there. Then again, potentially Matt Aaron could actually name it, but I think that could be just a glancing blow. But we are talking about 5 days away, so a lot can change between now and then. It could be further west, it could be further east. Obviously, we'll further details in the coming days. And heading through to the end of the week, the winds will turn much lighter, perhaps breeze in some places. We're looking at 20 to 30 mile per hour gusts. And this morning's run showing a bit of a breezy spell coming through the Irish Sea coast and through Ireland. Again, gusting up to 40, maybe 50 mile per hour. Not really shown on the latest run. And before the next bout of wind and rain comes through next weekend, we'll go as far as that because obviously there's still a lot to play for between now and then. But looking quite breezy, especially in western areas. More widespread through into Tuesday. So it looks like Tuesday could be quite a breezy day across the whole of the UK. So what do I think personally? I think there'll be yellow warnings out for wind through it for Tuesday. And it's quite marginal there for if it's going to be a named storm. But I think Meteo will be the one to name it, if I'm honest with you. We shall see in the next, 12 hours or so, 12 to 18 hours, because I think it does get named. It will be during about 11 o'clock tomorrow. So we've got the temperatures on both of these. If you're looking for cold temperatures, please look away now. So through into tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures range from about 4 or 5 in Scotland down to 11, 12 down towards the southeast. And through into Tuesday, it's mild across away from northern Scotland. We're ranging from about 4, 5, 6s towards north of Scotland to around about 14, 15 for much of the UK. Into Wednesday, we're looking at mid to high single digits across northern areas, and we're looking around up to about 13 degrees down towards the southeast. Into Thursday, again, we're looking about the same temperatures that we had on Wednesday. And Friday, cooler towards western areas. Not really much getting into double digits, but again, we could get 12 or 13 down towards the southeast. Right, just going to take that off there now. So look at the jet stream. Have a look what's happening with our jet stream right now. And there's actually quite a big temperature contrast actually over towards North America, which is fueling this powerful jet stream. So this is the jet stream right now, slap bang right across the UK as we're speaking. Then we've got the strong core of the jet stream, so temperatures, wind speeds are around about 200 mile per hour rattling across the UK. We've got the strong arm coming up from the southwest there. And through to Wednesday, we'll just maintain that strong jet stream rattling across the Atlantic. We get another strong arm, the jets coming out of North America. It's exceeding over 220 miles per hour through to next weekend. And that's getting pushed up towards the northeast. And what we're seeing here, we've got high pressure over Central Europe. We've got the jet stream digging south into Northern Africa and also up towards Scandi, where we've got this area of high pressure. And that's still sending the jet stream towards the UK. Again, in 10 days' time, we've got another strong arm of the jet coming across the Atlantic, exceeding 220 miles an hour. And it's just maintaining that unsettled weather for the UK. And it just keeps coming and coming. And what we're starting to see here was that sign of the Scandi high coming down. So this is why this arm up is actually pushing up northwards, actually up towards the western side of Norway and pushing down towards the North Africa as well. So potential for that area of high pressure through into the second half of Christmas week. But again, there's a lot to play for between now and then. But if you want any cold weather, so looking unlikely right now. Let's put myself back on the screen there. Let's go back into the comments and see what's what and what's not. What. Oops, got it too far back up the chat. We got two food, didn't we? There we go. ADC is the amateur dart circuits on YouTube and Pluto TV. That's if you qualify. So what's your average then, Matthew, for your darts? Must be at least 70s, 80s, are you? Yeah, all these low pressures are very depressing. It's not looking great, is it? Definitely not going to be a dry autumn this year, but we do need to make up for some of that deficits that we had earlier in the year. Suit's got 3 cuts on them. You say been pinned down by 3 cuts. I've got Stormy just sitting just there. Hello, I'm talking about you. He was asleep, so I mentioned her name and had just shut up. Look at me tired. What? Steffi, with all those lows, I was like going to be warm, wet, and windy for the next few days. Yeah, it's looking mild. No sign of cold really at all. Oh, what's happened here? What have I pressed? Oh, no. Clicked too far down on the screen there. Laura saying the Scandi High is going to kick the Atlantic. Well, she'll say, hopefully, that we need a bit of a break after all this with all the low pressures we're going to get. James wants a 1,095 block over Scandi and 1,090 block over Greenland. That would take some shifting, wouldn't it, those highs, if that came off? So same Woobu, I forgot about that. I was surprised if we get that far, but we shall see. And the FA Cup draws at 6:40 tomorrow evening. I need to change my time then for my alarm for tomorrow. Let's go in your comments. A strong jet stream now. Yeah, it's looking very powerful. I think there's a lot of cold air coming out of North America. Actually, let me just show you, actually, because when I was looking at this earlier on, you can actually see it on the 850. how cold the air is coming out of North America. Let's bring up the screen share again. Screen share. There we go. Let's put that back up, the 850. That's coming towards the back end of this run. So what's fueling this powerful jet at the moment? There's actually a lot of cold air, which is meeting the warm air. So we've got this lot of this cold air coming out of like Canada, which is then meeting up with this mild air coming up from the tropical Atlantic. And this is what's driving this powerful jet stream across the Atlantic right now. So you've got minus 15 degree isotherm there, and you've got the plus 10 in a short space of time, and that's why we keep getting these powerful jets. That happens there, then it happens again, another low pressure intensifying that jet stream, and you can see it coming off the coast of North America there. There's even a minus 20 there coming off eastern side of Canada. Then again, we've got that warm air coming up, and we've got this minus 15 degree. So you've got that sharp temperature contrast there. Well, look at that. That's really coming across the Atlantic there, the minus 15 degree towards the back end of that run. Obviously, by the time it gets to our side, it's, well, the Atlantic's warmed it up, really. Again, we've got that temperature contrast there, fueling that jet stream. And and it's just a repeat and a repeat and a repeat. Another one, got a temperature contrast there. And that's sending up to, well, eventually up towards north of Scandi there. So that keep getting these cold plunges coming out of North America, meeting the warm Atlantic, which is causing this powerful jet stream. And we're just stuck in that pattern right now. Eventually, we'll come out of that pattern, but not in the coming couple of weeks at least. Right. Let's have a look at the ECMWF weekly anomaly charts. How are we doing for time? 5-2. Not too far from the end now. Actually, this is going to be the last charts we're going to have a look at tonight. Let's see what the ECMWF weekly anomaly charts are showing. Okay, let's tab ourselves off full screen. So these are the mean sea level pressure charts, weekly anomaly charts from the ECMWF. This is for the 8th of December through to the 15th of December. And no surprise, low pressure in charge towards the west. We've got this southwesterly flow. We've got that area of high pressure, which I mentioned, across Central Europe. That's dragging up winds up from the southwest for us. And the cold air will be coming down towards the eastern side of Europe. And we'll go through to the next chart, which is from the 15th of December through to the 22nd. Again, we've got low pressure in charge towards northwest, a bit of a westerly, perhaps southwesterly for parts of the UK on this run. Again, well, that high is actually getting pushed further eastwards, so that's why that's coming in a bit more. See more of the Azores high building up down towards the southwest. And the 22nd to 29th, going into Christmas week, I think this road could be in a transitional period. Got low pressure up towards Iceland. Got a bit of a westerly flow there. We've got the Azores high just there. We're seeing hints of high pressure up towards Scandi. So I think this could be a transition period, because as we go into the 29th of December through to Monday, the 5th of January. We've got the Scandi high there, and we'll get the winds coming in from the east. So it's like the Scandi high could actually start to take control if we're dragging in cold air out towards the east. And if we get the Atlantic coming in, could we? Could we get that battleground or perhaps snow for the UK? That is still yet to be seen. And going through to the 5th to the 12th of January, there's no really clear signal that high pressure towards the north there, lower pressure through the Med. We could be still in a easterly flow, but the signal's getting weak, which is no surprise because we're getting to about 5-6 weeks away. And at the back end of the middle of January, there's no really clear signal away from southern and eastern Europe. Now look at the same charts again, but this time we're looking at the precipitation. So it's no surprise this week we're above average for rainfall. And that's same to the 15th to the 22nd of December. And this is where I said where we could be looking at a transitional period. It's drier out towards Eastern Central Europe and looking around about average across the UK. Then even when that's Scandi high, we're looking around about average. So as I mentioned, it's the Scandi high there. It could be dry at times, but you never know. We could get some Atlantic weather trying to move in, and if the air is cold enough, it could see some transitional snow, but details a bit too early to confirm at this stage. And we're looking around about average going into January as well. And finally, the 2-meter temperatures with the same model runs. No surprise, virtually the whole of Europe is well above average. Let's turn that on there. So we're looking at 3 to 6 degrees above average. Parts of Germany into parts of Scandi are looking around about 6 to 10 degrees above average. And as we head through into the 15th of December through to the 22nd of December, mentioned about that cold plunge of air coming out of North America, which is making its way through to like central Atlantic, bringing colder conditions there. But across much of Europe, away from Eastern Europe, where it's turning colder, we are looking above average. We're looking around about 1 to 3 degrees above average. Central Europe up to Scandi are looking at least 3 to 6 degrees above average. And coming into Christmas week, we're slightly above average. There's still what I potentially said could be the transitional period, that cold air potentially coming out of Western Russia. And this is not really shown actually. With that high pressure up there, you expect to see this perhaps cooling right down. We're about average there for the New Year week. And again, into the start of January as well. So there's perhaps a hint there that, oops, wrong button. Could be a hint there that we could see a Scandi high building through into the New Year week. But we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens in the coming weeks. Obviously, we're getting close to the time. But White Christmas, as I mentioned earlier on, I don't see it happening myself. I think it's just going to be another mild, potentially wet Christmas. I'm not seeing any signs of any cold weather. It's going to take a major pattern flip for that to happen in the next week or so. But it's not looking great if we want a white Christmas, or at least widespread snow anyway. Let's go and look at your comments. The weather setup always seems wrong for us in the UK. Very frustrating. Yeah, it's just the lucky Americans that well, lucky or unlucky, depends if you like the cold or not. Seems to be getting the brunt of the colder weather. 12Z ECM. Let's take a look at it. I've kind of stepped away from that because I'm sick of those bloody banners going up. We'll go and find it. Just bear with me a second. It's Weather Central there. Let's have a look at the 12Z from the ECM. Let's put the screenshot up. Well, I've got that, and will it end alive not long after that? Where are we? There we go. Let's get a banner off there. So let's get through. Right about now, so that little area of low pressure coming out into North Sea as we're speaking right now. Let's go through to lunchtime tomorrow. And that southwesterly flow, then we'll start to see that area of low pressure moving up overnight into. This is why I've kind of want to step away from the ECM 12Z from Weather Central because of these banners popping up. I think they're just getting a bit too much now. So yeah, the 12Z of the ECM has that low pressure coming up from the southwest. High pressure over towards Central Europe. That clears up towards north of Scotland to Wednesday. As we head into Thursday, this is also showing that ridge of high pressure moving up from the southeast. But it's not going to be a cold direction because it's coming up from the Atlantic. So again, temperatures could be into the low teens, maybe mid-teens, up to 14, 15 potentially. And the air of low pressure moves in towards the west as we head into Friday. So it looks like it could try and hang on to the dry weather towards the southeast. What does this do through into Saturday? Maintain that southwesterly flow. Still dragging up a lot of, perhaps even a lot of cloud actually. Lunchtime on Sunday, it's like it's drier towards the south. It's a bit more unsettled towards the north. And we'll get the next area of low pressure moving in next Monday. This will be followed by another low pressure behind, looking quite windy there for northwestern areas. Again, it's looking drier towards the south. Still maintain that southwesterly flow from the Azores. Into day 10, low pressure towards the north, and there could be like another area of low pressure trying to develop down towards the southwest. Let's see if that does develop it into a low pressure. So it looks like an area of low pressure just trying to develop, but not quite. That could bring a spell of rain or showers through into Thursday the 18th. Then we get a ridge, the Azores high, reaching up from the south. That's looking much drier actually for the 19th of December. High pressure established itself across the UK. As this trying to build a Scandi high. So high pressure actually does take, this is showing high pressure taking over actually into days 13. The Azores high is a lot further north compared to what we've seen recently. Got high pressure out towards Central Europe. Does that try head up? Is this heading up towards Scandi instead of coming down from Scandi? Let's have a look. So Azores High goes across the UK through into Sunday the 21st of December. So that's settling things down. Coming off the Atlantic, there could be a lot of cloud trapped in this. So the 12Z of the ECM actually has us by the 22nd of December with high pressure centered just towards southern parts of the UK, down towards the southwest. There could be still a spell of rain, perhaps fringing the north of Scotland during this time. But the ECMWF 12Z does actually settle things down. So a bit of a contrast there compared to the GFS, where it has heights building down from Scandi. But this has high pressure building up from the Azores. So coming off the Atlantic, any clear skies, it could be a bit of a dirty high, to be honest, if that came off. Well, there's a bit of a contrast there between the two main computer model runs as we head towards Christmas week. So it'll be interesting to see what comes off of that. Right. I did share that screen, didn't I? Hopefully, if I was on the, I was showing those charts there. Oh, no worries, James. No worries. I forgot about those ads. Sure, there's no website where we've got ads popping right in front of your face when you try to look at them. Right. I think us Brits should develop mud sledging and mud skiing. Well, we do bogs. I think some areas do bog snorkeling, don't they? Right. I think we're going to wind the live down there. Yeah, I think we're going to wind the live down there for tonight. So, yeah, in summary, this week is much the same we've had recently. Spells of wind and rain coming across the country. Need to watch that system through into Tuesday. Could be Marjorie if it gets named. I think if it does, it's going to be named by Met Aaron. And if that one does come through, it'll be around about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think there will be some yellow warnings out for wind, but I don't think it'll be one to amber warning for wind, unless it's going to be the Irish Sea facing coast, maybe like West Wales, perhaps down towards Devon and Cornwall. But I think it's going to be more. I still think Met Aaron would name this if they do. But there's see what happens in the next 12 to 18 hours, really. Embrace the mud. Oh, I jumped up as I pressed it. Embrace the mud. Yeah. Yes, audio. I think I have to agree. At this rate, we could grow our own rice. It's been a great stream, Michael. Good to see you back. Thank you so much for all your kind words while I've been away for the past couple of weeks. So it's the best I felt for quite a while, to be honest. Maybe it was just that break I needed, physically and mentally, really. All ready for the Christmas run in now for the next, 18 days till Christmas? Yeah. Mud wrestling back in fashion. Paul James, thank you. Enjoyed live stream. Good to see you back. Thank you so much. Yep. Thanks to the mods, Paul James and James, to keeping an eye on proceedings. Everyone's been well behaved. Not had any naughty people coming in for a while, thankfully. Or just putting their own wind warning out for wind, amber warning out for wind. What have you been eating? What have you been eating? Thank you to Matthew and to Laura, and also to Send It as well. Good to take a break sometimes. I think it was kind of forced upon me, and I needed to take that break. I wasn't in a great state, really, how things were coming up. Things were. And Audrey, thanks, Marco. Good to see you back. I want to say thank you for your kind words, everybody, from here or on the Discord as well. Honestly, it is appreciated. Thank you so much for all your kind words. And I haven't left you out, Steffi. I've seen it. Thank you for your great live stream. Thank you to WeatherFans official and moderators. You may hold those credits. So yeah, we'll be back next week from 8 p.m. Guy can choose to win. Thank you, Audio. Take care. So yeah, back next week from 8 p.m. And thank you all so much. Let's try again. So thank you all so much for watching. On behalf of myself, the Big Cat, and Stormy, you gonna say goodnight? I'm not going to pick her up. She's asleep, curled up. But yeah, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week for another edition of WeatherFans Live here on YouTube. Ta-ra for now.